Hey all, so I'm just going to show you the difference a hook size made. So all of these are made with the same yarn, with the same stitch count. I've just used a 3mm, a 4mm and a 5mm. So I'll show you the granny squares first. Okay, so this granny square is made with the 3mm, and as you can see it's much smaller than this one, which is the 4mm hook, and this one, which is the 5mm hook. So if we pop them on, you can see there's not a huge difference between the 4mm and the 3mm, but it is a slight difference. It's probably about half a stitch length for the DK. If I can show you, sorry. See the difference there, it's just kind of like a small length, and then this obviously is the same. But if we go the difference between the 3 and the 5, it's almost a whole, whole stitch. So it's almost a whole row difference between the 3 and the 5, and the 4 is about half a row difference. So this can help with tension. If you're only slightly off, you can just change your hook size to get the size that you need. I've got these in the wrong way now, that way around. So 3mm, 4mm and 5mm could adjust the gauge that you need if you don't want to attempt to tighten or loosen your gauge, because that can be quite hard. You can just go down or up a hook size. You can see one hook size doesn't make a huge amount of difference in a granny square, but it can make the difference that's needed. There is half hook sizes and quarter hook sizes, so if you're just minuscule out, you can even just do a half size. You may think, why bother if you're only slightly out, but that little bit will add up over a process of making a garment. So getting your gauge as close as possible is the best. So just because the pattern says use a DK weight and a 4mm hook doesn't mean you have to. You can go down a hook size or up a hook size to get the correct size that you need. And so this is how it can affect having the different hook size. If I show you in single crochet, you can see it even more. So you can see the difference in the sizes if you use a single crochet. So like a garment is often made with single crochets, and you can see this is the 3mm, which gives a much firmer fabric. But if you look at the size, if I just line up those edges, just do cast on edge to cast on edge, so more exact. Okay, so as you can see, there is quite a size difference between the 3mm and the 4mm over a space of time, a space of working. And even the 5mm has a reasonable size difference with the 4mm. See, so that little bit of difference that doesn't notice a huge amount in a granny square will make a huge difference in a single crochet along, so a flat piece like this. So it's always best to try to get your gauge as close as possible. I mean, if you compare the 3mm to the 5mm, there's a real difference there. So you can see over time how that would make your garment 1, 2, 3 sizes bigger, depending on how big your garment is. So changing a hook size can be a good way to make gauge, because it's easier to change a hook size than it is to change your tension. It can be done, depending on how you hold your yarn, but changing your hook size is a much better way of getting the gauge that you need. So if you are coming up too big or too small, just switch your hook size for one that's one size down or one size up. And if it's not quite a big thing, just go for half a size. I don't have any half size to show you right now, but there is, you can buy them, so they're half sizes, so you can get 3.5 and just bear in mind whenever you need to make gauge that if you can't change your tension, because that's the hardest thing to do, just change your hook size. Okay, thank you. Bye.